Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What up? We are back, old school. Me and my main man Nick on the 1s and 2s and the 3s and 4s. Old School is brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese and Butcher Shop, located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. I gotta get my little grill up.
Yeah, you gotta
here.
make sure you see your smile.
Yeah.
You got quite the fit on today.
I do.
Is it nice and warm?
It is. It's perfect for the elements. It's not about style. It's about function.
It's not the parka. It's not the black vest that you normally wear.
I do have it there, the black vest to go over there.
You're not wearing a black Nike ball cap. You're wearing a stocking cap now.
It's time to retire the ball caps when it's this cold. When it's this cold.
You still got hair on your head, so I mean, like it's better than like though. AD will freeze.
Yeah,
I saw tomorrow. It's like frostbite can occur in 5 to like 25 minutes. Tomorrow.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like with the wind chill, like negative 40,
negative 30 to negative 50.
That's crazy.
It's already around the state. I just saw from good old Nathan Brennan's TV station, 1011, that there's already wind chills of negative 25 around the state.
That was out west.
Probably out west because it's all coming this way.
It's coming this way.
It's all coming this way.
Yeah, you have any family out west? We need to call them and find out.
No, I don't. But here's the thing: is I saw that the snow accumulations got dropped, so it's only going to be like 2 to 4 inches. I saw, but with the wind chill and the wind, he said like the tweet said it's going to make it impossible to drive.
Yeah, because of well, first of all, that would make the roads even more icy because of the wind, and then obviously the not being able to see either. So yes, travel safely out there. You know, we are in the holiday season, and you know, there's been years in Nebraska where we haven't had any cold weather. I think, heck, one year I think people were out playing golf on Christmas Day or right around Christmas. So
I played last year on December 21st.
Yeah, so
year to year. Oh, today's 21st. A year ago today, I was playing golf. That's sad.
What'd you shoot?
Not good.
All right. Well, it doesn't matter. At that point in time, it's just happy to be out there.
I think I played 7 holes because I couldn't get through 9.
Yeah.
Because it was so cold. Because here's the deal.
It started out nice.
50 in December is different than 50 in September.
Oh, yeah.
So you go out there in December, or you roll up the Golf Now app, like, man, I can play for $14 at Newmark.
Right.
Here we go. This is going to be great. It's 50 degrees on December 21st. Different 50. Yeah. Different type of 50.
Because it's 50 for like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
And then it's down to 40.
Then it's the wind.
Yeah.
Then it's the December wind. And you're like, this ain't true.
Yeah.
This ain't 50 degrees.
I mean, to piggyback off the spillover or crossover, I didn't listen to the press conference. I mean, I think I think I've become immune to them. And that's probably not fair, but I think that at this point in time, I will say this. I think that they've done a decent job of going out and trying to attack this thing the best that they can. I don't think there's any excuses that, the reality is that obviously he wasn't the head coach, starting in January. He's the head coach starting at the, couple days after Thanksgiving. And so that's what you signed up for. But I think when you're getting paid this much and you come with this much, with this reputation, you're expected to do this. And so I think it's good that they all went out there, and they aren't even a full staff yet. I mean, the wide receiver, I guess the staff knows the wide receiver coach is going to be. Obviously, he's probably coaching somewhere else, and they got some other positions to fill. But when you look at it, they've looked at, they attacked both of the lines of scrimmage. Did a little bit in the transfer portal. Probably I'd like to see him do a little bit more. Maybe get one of those linemen that they had in, at least right now, or maybe somebody that comes up later on in the year or in the obviously in the off season. But overall, I think that this is kind of a Matt Rule type of class.
Well, you talk about the 2 lines of scrimmage. Offensive line was a big discussion point today. All day today with the class, with what they could do in the future here. And then also at the press conference, because there was a lot of questions revolving around Donovan Raiola. Why did he decide to retain Donovan Raiola? Here's one quote that stuck out to me, Jay, that now obviously it's just a quote, and we'll see what happens and how it all plays out. Like you said on the crossover, when 2 years down the road, when you can evaluate. But Matt Rule said today, the team that controls the line of scrimmage wins games. I've learned to build a team that can win in the environment that you're in. And so, because he was talking about, hey, the way that college football is going to be shaken out here is he was talking about, expectations to play in the college football playoff come in, 4 or 5 years down the road. And he said there's going to be home field advantage because there's going to be non-neutral site games.
Right,
it's going to be on campuses. So he said, I was standing out on Memorial Stadium yesterday on the field, in the cold, in the ice, in the snow. And he said, I realized, hey, in 5 years, if we play in a game here in December, we need to be able to use that to our advantage.
Right.
And he goes, we need to figure out a way to boost the offensive line by that.
Right.
He goes, because we need to play, and we need to basically build a team that can play and excel in the environment that we are in.
Right.
So that was a thing for kind of sore ears and tired ears. I mean, that was music, because we haven't done that.
Yeah.
It's been the complete opposite. We've said it. Remember, because 2018, it was, hey, there's dudes out there warming up without a shirt on. They're tough.
Yeah.
But that's not true. I mean, that doesn't do anything.
Yeah, I think really what it comes down to, if you look at a lot of the classes of the offensive line, say like you take the last 5 or 6 years, there's only been one guy out of all the offensive defensive linemen that in each class has been good. So, those 5 offensive linemen, you like to at least have 2 or 3 of those guys be guys you think would be starters or like rotational players, and same with the defensive line. I think when you look at it, like the edge, quote unquote edge.
Because that's how they're classifying dudes.
So,
now.
yeah, and I'm not really sure, Maverick Noonan is necessarily an edge. It'd be interesting to see, being 6'4", 225, where does he fit at it in the edge? Because if he's going to be like a 5 technique, a 6, he's got, that's 30, 40 pounds he's got to put on.
Yeah.
I've never seen him play up on, rush from 2 feet. But when you think of Dylan Rogers, I actually saw him when he was in town, and he's ready to go.
Yeah, he's a good dude.
From a physique standpoint. Maverick Noonan, I already talked about him. I think he's from technique wise and knowing how to play with his hands, he's there. And all these guys aren't expected to play. Kay Whalen is a guy that you keep your eye on. He's played higher competition.
The JUCO guy.
Yeah, JUCO guy. Any of these guys played. He's good. Another guy that's not necessarily an edge that plays maybe in his 3-3-5 is Eric Fields.
They're high on Eric Fields. They're high on Eric Fields. It's a guy that had 180 tackles in 10 games down in Oklahoma.
He's no joke though, man.
Yeah.
And then you got Elijah Judy, from Texas A&M. And then you mix in the guys that are like Jamari Butler, Garrett Nelson, and all those guys. All these guys that are coming in at these positions aren't going to play, especially the young guys, the freshmen.
Yeah.
So
you also forgot to transfer Chief Borders.
I was about to say, you're expecting, I would expect immediate returns from one or both, depending on how much eligibility they have left, from Chief Borders and Kai Whalen. You got to have one of those guys really into the rotation. Now, I think they're a little bit farther ahead on defense, because when you're thinking of a Colton Feast, Ty Robinson, and then a mix of Wynn, maybe Buckley, and then obviously Nash, where you think like, okay, we got 3 or 4 guys that are serviceable, and then mix in some other guys with the edge and get a little bit healthy at linebacker, we should be okay. Now, inside linebacker is something that probably needs to be addressed or looked at it as well, just from a health standpoint. Productivity, being productive, I don't think you would really worry about it. I think that seeing where everybody's at health wise, and so who would be able to step up from the guys that are presently on the roster, or could you get some position flexibility of a guy like Jamari Butler, who's a lot probably more fleet of foot than everybody that we talked about.
Well, that's an interesting way to look at it with inside linebacker, because you have a guy like Nick Henrich now who suffered 2 injuries this year, because people would forget that he also had he had a broken hand,
right?
That he played through and had that giant cast or thing on his hand for a couple games, and then now suffered the season-ending injury. So I guess health wise at inside linebacker is something something to definitely watch. One guy here, switching to the offensive side of the ball, Jay, he doesn't necessarily fit their speed profile, but in terms of hands and being ready to play, maybe make an impact day one in a limited capacity, Jaden Doss.
Yeah, he's probably the most polished out of all the receivers when you think about if you compare him to, say, like Malachi Coleman. I think Jalen Lloyd is pretty polished. I think just the size-wise, he needs to get a little bit better.
And that's not counting Josh Fleeks, the guy they brought in from Baylor today.
Yeah. And you got to see where because he played running back and he played receiver. So you don't know. He could probably be maybe like a Lante Brown or you never.
Yeah,
just never know.
What's interesting with Josh Fleeks, so he's listed as 6 foot, 204 pounds right now. Coming out of high school, he was listed at 5'11", 170. So that means he's put on 30 pounds of weight. Right. In his time at Baylor's. Now, what does that mean? Who knows? But
right.
I think that was something interesting to look at. Is 6 foot, 200 pound, 204 specifically, to see where he's a fast guy though. Coming out of high school, he ran a 21-second 200-meter dash.
Right.
So he's a fast dude. So he fits their profile like that from that point of view. But 204 is an interesting weight for me because I'm not sure where they would put him on the field like that.
Well, if he's a player, 6 foot, if he's a playmaker, he could play on the outside. He could play in the slot. Period. If he's 6 foot, there's a lot of guys that Wandell Robinson was listed as 5'9".
That's true. Yeah,
and he's about 5'8". So he has plenty, and he can be that X factor. So it just depends on how well these guys come in and play. And so everything's all like projection. It's 43. By high school and 31 transfer rank gives you 41 overall. Some people say it correlates to where you end up at the end of the season. I think I think 41 is the low point of where you should be at the end of the season next year. That means you should be at the worst, the 41st ranked team next year. Well, I think what you do with this is really how you make your money.
Now, obviously, like we say, stars are great, and Matt Rule said it today is, the stars and all the rankings go away when they get to campus because they're just another dude on there, another guy on the team, they're another player in the locker room. But what's interesting here, there is some cause for applause when you look at what Matt Rule and his staff have done with an incomplete staff, right, over the last couple weeks. Because just 9 days ago, this was a recruiting class that was rated in the 60s. Right. And now here we are. That was 41st was as of this morning. Now they're sitting just outside the top 25.
Right.
So I understand recruiting rankings only mean so much. And Nebraska's had good recruiting rankings the last couple years. But now it's developing time.
Yeah, now you got to develop and get guys ready to play and coach them up too. So we'll see what happens.
So
it's a good start. We'll dive into it. I'm gonna try to pick on the surface, who I think could maybe top 4 or 5 that could, make an impact next year. I think next segment we're going to probably wrap up on Nebraska's game against Queens last night, and then we'll head into obviously the commitments and see if maybe during the show, maybe we see if my man Barry Jackson, see if he makes a decision where he goes with that. So
decision.
Yep, Jay Foreman and Nick, old school, will be back.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. You're listening to Old School with DP&J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Look at your car. It's filthy and probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. Get it upgraded and repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
A winter storm warning will be in effect late this afternoon into tonight. We'll see a high of 26 with areas of flurries and freezing drizzle this morning a possibility. But by this evening into tonight, a quick blast of snow. 3 to 5 inches will be possible. An overnight low of 11 degrees below zero. A high tomorrow of only around 4 below zero. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air. When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at 435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, Heating and Air.
Bagels and Joe is happy to introduce the new Joe Card. Get unlimited drip coffee from all 5 locations, including the new Seward location, for just $8.95 per month. Start your mornings off right with a breakfast sandwich and unlimited coffee from Bagels and Joe.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez Clary.
With Tony White in his 3-3-5 system that he's going to bring to Nebraska, do you think that's a fit in the Big Ten?
It does seem like a type of defense that allows for a lot of different formations at the point of attack. It's not that they're only going to have 3 down linemen, it's that it allows for pressure to come from a lot of different spots. In terms of, rushing the passer, which is something that Nebraska has kind of been lacking in.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
There it is, Nick. A little 50 Cent, a little 50. The candy shop.
We got an important text here. Once again, you guys can get in touch with the show, 402-464-5685. John and Cortland, to all, be careful out here. It's a bleep show. So
greased turd. I don't know what that means. That means it's slippery.
Yeah, or it must already be slippery. Right, it's slick.
We don't know where you're at, John and Cortland.
Mark said the parking lot is like an ice rink. He went to go turn his car on.
Yeah, I almost bit it out there.
He said he put his hand on the dumpster, and the dumpster started sliding.
No way.
Looking like James Brown out there. If you want to get your
you almost fell over this morning
this morning, got out there, almost got caught slipping.
Yeah, so
literally.
So it's gonna be fun on the drive.
But I can tell you what though, I would have stayed down there and started my neck and my back. So I would have been
my neck, my back, my neck, and my back.
Hey, I'll tell you what though.
Car alarm.
I'll tell you what though, man. Looking over there and seeing you three little young whippersnappers sitting courtside, you guys look mighty comfortable over there. Rico caught a ball. I texted Rico. I was like, man, you almost got busted upside your head.
Never.
And it was
never in doubt. I'm pissed at myself because I should have done the Melo thing when he wasn't in the league and just
you should
give it back to the ref.
Give it back to the ref.
We got a phone call.
All right, we got a phone call in here
we'll
on the.
He'll have to get who it is, but
Honda of Lincoln hotline. We got somebody coming through hot. I bet you it's John and Cortland. He about to spit some knowledge.
Man. I don't know. We were comfortable though. We were having a good time last night.
Yeah, you guys were.
It's very rarely that we're able to enjoy it as a fan.
It was really fun. John and Cortland.
Hey, what's up?
What a guest, John. What's happening, baby?
Oh, you want to know what's happening out here, Jay?
Yeah, what's up?
Put on some ice skates and put on the hockey gear, man. It's gonna be ugly.
Oh. Where you at? Where you at? You at Lincoln?
The windshield's freezing over as it's coming down. I got the defrost. And I am at the turn going to.
That's how cold it is.
That's how cold it is.
He said he was almost to Cortland.
Thanks, John.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
All right.
That's how cold it is.
So out there on 77.
Yeah, that's no fun. It's serious. It's getting serious.
Not
business.
a fan.
Yeah.
So
this is.
We thought in this segment we'll put a bow on yeah, a little tongue in cheek. I know what you guys do. I read the same email. Little punks. Hey man, we're gonna put a wrap on this Husker basketball game yesterday. My initial thoughts, I'm gonna tell you this. I felt like this was it was kind of like BYO, bring your own energy. You know what I mean?
Had to.
The crowd was sparse. I didn't realize Mississippi State had lost, but I saw some fans and they looked dejected. I just thought maybe they drank too much.
Were you at the game?
No, I just
okay.
Because I was here and then I went and then it felt. Look, first of all, it was a sleepy kind of start.
Yep.
It was a sleepy game. Nebraska kind of jumped out 9-0. Then I'm like, man, I'm ready to go home because this might be like an 85 to 20 game. And then next thing you know. Queen said, you know what, we like this arena, start hitting some threes.
Yeah.
And then the game turned out a little bit closer than our liking. It was good to see him win. Some things I didn't really particularly care for was a little bit sloppy with the ball, a little bit sloppy with the shot selection. There's a couple times where they were caught in odd situations, Nick, where they kind of just threw the ball up. Now that sometimes, a coach or what you'd like to see is extreme maturity in a team, come out and play the same way like they did against Purdue every game. That's maybe not possible for this team right now, but anytime you can bounce back after a disappointing game in Kansas City against Kansas State and win. And Queens isn't a pushover by no means.
I was just going to add that. I was making sure I could find it. This comes from Robin Washit, obviously a Husker basketball beat reporter. Interesting note about Huskers' win over Queens last night. The Royals are currently 143rd in the latest net rankings. That's higher than Syracuse, DePaul, VCU, and more.
Yeah,
so it's not like this was a team that was 9-2. It's their first year in Division I basketball. I mean, it wasn't necessarily a game that Nebraska had to fight for or play their best brand of basketball. But like you said, they're coming in off of a poor effort against Kansas State.
Yeah.
And Fred Hoiberg talked about that. Had a horrible effort against Kansas State, came back and ended up winning by double digits.
The sickness going through the team. I knew a little bit more about Queens than maybe the average fan because they're located in Charlotte.
Yep.
So I knew, and when I looked at the roster where these guys were from in North Carolina, I knew they could play.
Yeah.
And a lot of times these are guys that North Carolina, maybe they're third or fourth, fifth down, the rankings, and all those other guys are going to North Carolina State. So these guys can play. So there wasn't like a team just came in incarnate Word or whatever that beat Nebraska that one year.
I was gonna say, or Kennesaw State.
Yeah, Kennesaw State or something.
Yeah.
So they were legit, and so it was good to see them to get a victory, rest, reset, enjoy the holidays, and come back against Iowa. Right after Christmas. But we have a call, right?
Yeah,
we got a call in on the Honda Lincoln hotline. We got Matthew in Hickman. What's up, Matthew?
Hey, fellas. First of all, just to pivot over to football real quick, Jay. The other day on your questions for to win the tickets to the vault, I missed a number, man. I missed a 1 in front of the 23. I'm just messing.
I know, man. It's all good. It's all good, baby. You know how it is.
Hey, man. I'm here for it, man. Hey. Secondly, outside of Malachi, which athlete that signed today with us stands out to you the most as, I don't know, maybe the most important factor moving into next year and the future? And lastly, just letting you know, Jay, our boy Hooksy touchdown, nice and safe and sound in North Carolina, so he's good to go. I love you guys, man. Appreciate you all. Hang up and listen.
Yeah. Besides Malachi, athlete. If you're just looking at pure athlete, the only the other one that really jumps off is Jalen Lloyd, and then Bryce Turner, and I think it just comes down to one or both of those dudes. When you look at the rankings, they're both pretty much 8.6s, so or 0.86. So whichever one really steps up, I think they are one is they're both deep threats. I think Jalen Lloyd's probably a little bit farther along as far as route running and position flexibility, because I can say both, because I think Bryce Turner will exclusively be a receiver, whereas Jalen Lloyd can be a defensive back and corner. So I always say with those type of guys that you get 2 recruits instead of 1.
Well, since this was kind of a basketball segment, here's an interesting note. We talk about Iowa men's basketball.
All right.
They lost this afternoon to Eastern Illinois, 92-83. Iowa was favored by 31 points against Eastern Illinois in Iowa City this afternoon and lost.
Fran is off the chain. Fran,
and you want to know one coach to replace him? Drake's head coach.
Ooh.
So there's one guy to watch.
Yeah.
He was on Creighton's staff for a while.
Yeah.
That's
DeFry.
right.
Yep.
They're from Omaha.
Yeah, that's right.
One guy to watch.
It was huge. Yeah.
Which Drake had a great win against Mississippi State. Rico and I and Bach were at that game. We were like, well, we got tickets, might as well. So we were sitting there watching Drake play 15th ranked and undefeated 11-0 Mississippi State, and they went to town. I mean, the intensity was fun to watch.
Didn't Drake, because they're in Des Moines, right?
Yes. I want to say they're in Des Moines, yeah.
They had a pretty good NCAA run a couple years ago, right?
I want to say I believe I know they made the tournament,
right? It was like, and they won a game.
Yes.
I remember it was like 2 or 3.
Yeah, they played spoiler,
and they've had some good players there and good teams. So, look, man, you step out on that court and you think you half stepping against some old chunk from the Midwest.
That's the thing. I mean, so DeFry, I mean, like I said, his son is from Omaha, and he played high school basketball in Omaha because at that time the head coach was on Creighton's staff. And so he's now the head coach at Drake. We'll see what happens going forward.
Hey, small world, 6 degrees of separation. And that separation was Drake against Mississippi State. Mississippi State got sent home with that big L.
Or now Eastern Illinois against Iowa at Iowa.
That is so funny because Fran just goes off.
Fran goes off.
Yeah.
I can just see him.
He's not.
He has his mouth open.
I guarantee you.
And his face is red.
I guarantee you there's no ham or anything being eaten on Christmas. He's just going to be.
He's done.
He's going to be the Grinch. So.
Yeah. John and Cortland, and this is how it is. This is how he wrote it. Pulled over, period. Defrost on high, period. Still freezing to windshield, period. Greased turds. Slick as ... no fun, late.
Stay safe, John.
So,
we'll double.
John's struggling just a little bit.
We'll double back with you after this break, John. We'll maybe have a little bit trivia.
Somebody get us a welfare check on John.
Everybody, say a prayer for John. In the next 5 or 6 minutes, we'll have to say it on air. Jay Foreman, Nick, Old School. We'll be back.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
2022 flew by fast, and while you celebrate the upcoming holidays, Mullen Motors is looking ahead to 2023 and trying to open up space on their lot. Stop by Mullen Motors for their year-end sale and select from some of the best options of used vehicles in Lincoln at the best prices of the year. Don't end the year in your aging vehicle. Search Mullen Motors lot today for their year-end sale, just north of 48th and Lake.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering year-end blowout savings on in-stock 2022 compact tractors and mowers. Make quick work of chores around your acreage and save over $4,000 on select John Deere compact tractors equipped with a loader and rear blade. Or save up to $1,000 on select 2022 John Deere Z-Trax and lawn tractors. Visit your local Acres store or acres.com to get these great discounts. Acres, solutions for every field. Discounts available on in-stock units while supplies last.
Riddles Jewelry is excited to showcase the scintillating Levion jewelry collection. Levion is known for their love of reinventing fine designer jewelry through unique combinations of chocolate diamonds, vibrant gemstones, and precious metals. Levion and Riddles Jewelry, two family-owned businesses who put customers at the heart of what they do. No one colors your world better than Levion. So visit Riddles Jewelry today and receive $100 off any Levion purchase now through Christmas.
At Riddles Jewelry, Gateway Mall.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back, pumps in a back, pumps
We are back, old school Nick, in between segments, off the chain. It's always all good, man. You know what I'm saying? People be safe out there. Roads are getting slick. I'm going to ask you this, though, Nick.
What's up?
Do you like the variety of areas in this recruiting class that they've attacked? Well, I mean, obviously Texas is a big watering hole for Matt Rule. And when I mean Texas, you can even put Judy in there, the Texas A&M guy. I mean, do you like the variety of states and stuff that they've attacked?
I think similar to what Nate and Strick were saying is that what they said they were going to do, what Matt Rule more specifically said he wanted to do in his introductory press conference, has matched up so far through the 24 days or whatever, 25 days now of him being a head coach, because one of the first things he mentioned was figure out a 500-mile radius, keep the guys in state, figure out why there's been guys leaving the state, right? He locked down those in-state guys with whether it's Malachi, whether it's Sam Sledge, Gunnar Gatula, Brock Knutson. I mean, you can go down the list. But then you see where they have relationships established, not only with families, but also high school coaches, also other college coaches. He brought up Joey McGuire and Texas Tech in the press conference today.
Yep.
But then you also have Matt Rule and his connections out in the eastern part of the country. You have E.J. Barthel, who used to be the UConn running backs coach, now is at Nebraska. So obviously he has the connections out near Connecticut and things like that, which I tried to tell people this morning. When you hear UConn, you're used to hearing that be as a doormat, right, of a college football program.
Right.
Jim Mora, the former UCLA head coach, went over there to UConn, flipped that thing around into a 6-win program in 1 year, and E.J. Barthel was part of that. So just because there was an assistant coach at UConn, or just because a former UConn coach was recruiting a guy and now he's at Nebraska, don't take that as a doormat of college football is trying to recruit at Nebraska.
What do you think about the Florida Gator connection?
The pipeline between
there's 3 guys, right? You got the long snapper?
The long snapper, Corey Collier Jr., who was a 5-star in the 2021,
Borders.
and Chief Borders,
who already has his own T-shirts, by the way.
Yeah. Hey, man.
More power to you.
Which we've started to see. We've started to see where guys are pumping their merch. And did you see Travis Hunter today, where he was like, "I'll announce where I'm going once I get to 100,000 subscribers on YouTube."
Yeah.
So
smart.
It's smart, and it started working. I refreshed the page. In 14 minutes. He had gotten 4,500 subscribers.
Hey, it's smart because one of the things that Deion Sanders took upon himself at Jackson State was teach these guys how to be businessmen and teach them about social media and NIL and how to make some money on your social media aspect. Use it as a good thing. So more power to him. It'll be interesting where he ends up, though. I'd assume he'd be at Colorado, but when you're the former number 1 overall, recruit, Deion, if he had a deal that he couldn't pass up, I'm sure Deion would say, "You got to go. This is life-changing money. You got to go take it." So it'll be interesting to see. I want to dive into. The mindset or thought of these guys presently on the roster. And when you're thinking about, because I'm going to tell you something. I'm going to tell you this, and we'll talk about this coming out of the break. And I used to do this when I was in the NFL. And the guys say, "I don't watch the draft." You better watch the draft. You better look at the recruits that come in. Not that they might take your, or be in direct competition in year 1 and year 2. Yeah. And some of these guys in the transfer portal, you're talking about Eli, Judy, Collier, all that. He's a corner. All right. So he ain't coming from Florida. He's coming up here from Florida, because I'm gonna say this: kids from Florida, Texas, and California, they think their high school football and where they came from is semi-pro.
Yeah.
Okay. They think they invented football, so they're not coming to Nebraska to be like, "Yeah, I'll just hang out for a little while." So
that's what's always crazy is when you look at and evaluate guys in like Texas, is a 3-star in Texas could be an equivalent to a 4-star in North Dakota, and that's no knock against North Dakota talent. That's just the pool is much bigger,
and that's how good you have to be in North Dakota
to separate yourself.
Yeah.
But like you said, that also shows how good you are in North Dakota to get yourself as a top 100 player. That shows I mean, in all honesty, Malachi Coleman is one of those where it shows how good you and talented you have to be to basically establish yourself as a clear-cut top 100 player in the country in a place like Nebraska when you have the pools of California, Arizona, Texas, Florida, and where those guys, those 3 stars and even 4 stars just kind of crowd and basically make it a giant pool of just those dudes from those states.
Yeah, so it'll be interesting, man. We'll talk about that at the top of the hour. Good first hour. It always goes by too quick in here in the beginnings of Snowmageddon or Stormageddon.
Yeah, we got more road updates. Not John and Cortland continues telling us how bad it is.
I like John. John,
we appreciate you, man.
He a weatherman.
Yeah, no, we do appreciate the updates a ton. No hard feelings at all. Other John says, "Hey guys, I'm in Southeast Lincoln. I just watched my neighbor struggle to get into his driveway with his 4-wheel drive truck. It's slick out. Be careful." The OG CJ adds in and says, "Be careful out there, fellas. It is getting very slick." So, lots of ice in North Lincoln. So it's everywhere. We're just here. We are. Might be a sleepover in the station. It wouldn't be the first time. Jay, you're dressed well
for it, but it's not happening. I will make it home, man. Jay Foreman.
Jay gonna be comfy.
Jay gonna be comfy. Yeah, but I ain't staying here. But I got some. Hey, Michigan is playing North Carolina basketball. I'll be home to watch that, man. So,
Iowa lost.
We already talked about that, Rico. You're late to the party.
Yeah.
Anyway,
cut his mic.
One more. We'll go into the break. Top of the hour. We're really going to look into. I'm going to probably give a little intel on each of these recruits in this next hour. Jay Foreman and Nick, old school.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa.
Looking for a financial partner that truly makes a difference? Modern Woodman is a member-owned fraternal financial services organization. We can help you plan for all stages of life, from protection to saving to retirement. We also offer member benefits, social activities, and volunteer opportunities to help your family and community.
I'm Sean Erickson, your Modern Woodman representative in Lincoln. Call me at 402-483-6515 to start the conversation.
Modern Woodman of America, touching lives, securing futures.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
Are you looking for some holiday fun right in the heart of downtown Lincoln? Bring your friends and family to Lincoln's largest drive-through Christmas lights experience. This show features countless high-quality lights in vibrant colors, holiday props, and favorite characters of the season, all synchronized to music to enjoy in your car. Start a new holiday tradition this year and experience the magic of Nebraska Christmas Light Show at Haymarket Park from November 26th to January 3rd, 5 p.m. to midnight. Purchase tickets today at NebraskaChristmasLightShow.com.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering year-end blowout savings on in-stock 2022 compact tractors and mowers. Make quick work of chores around your acreage and save over $4,000 on select John Deere compact tractors equipped with a loader and rear blade. Or save up to $1,000 on select 2022 John Deere Z-Trax and lawn tractors. Visit your local Acres store or acres.com to get these great discounts. Acres, solutions for every field. Discounts available on in-stock units while supplies last.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
This is Lincoln's home for sports talk on the FM dial. Also online at theticketfm.com.
On the internet.
KNTK FM Firth, 93.7 The Ticket.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at freedomandlaw.com today.
This is Megan Whitaker from the Nebraska golf team. If you've put your clubs away for the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
At Koppel, during the holidays, we take time to cherish our terrific staff, community, and loyal customers that continue to drive that money-saving mile to Louisville, Nebraska. Hi, this is Sean Callahan. I can proudly say I bought my car at Koppel. If you are in the area, I invite you to stop by Koppel Chevrolet GMC's offices in Louisville or check them out online at koppelcars.com. On behalf of Koppel Chevrolet GMC, Merry Christmas and safe travels to all.
2022 flew by fast. And while you celebrate the upcoming holidays, Mullen Motors is looking ahead to 2023 and trying to open up space on their lot. Stop by Mullen Motors for their year-end sale and select from some of the best options of used vehicles in Lincoln at the best prices of the year. Don't end the year in your aging vehicle. Search Mullen Motors lot today for their year-end sale, just north of 48th and Layton.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
This year, give the gift of delicious food, incredible service, and a lasting memory with the Pillar Restaurant Group gift card. Our holiday gift card special is back. When you purchase a $50 gift card, receive a $5 bonus card, or purchase a $100 gift card to receive a $20 bonus card. These cards can be used at all Pillar Restaurant Group locations, including Venue Restaurant and Lounge, Piedmont Bistro, Cactus, and all Lincoln Good Sense subs. Available for purchase at any of our concepts or online at prgnebraska.com.
93.7 The Ticket, Fox, KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank, a relationship you can count on.
A winter storm warning will be in effect late this afternoon into tonight. We'll see a high of 26 with areas of flurries and freezing drizzle this morning a possibility. But by this evening into tonight, a quick blast of snow. 3 to 5 inches will be possible. An overnight low of 11 degrees below zero. A high tomorrow of only around 4 below zero. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Are you dragging through each day? Most people are dehydrated or deficient in essential vitamins, minerals, and more. Live Hydration Spa helps you get more out of your life with their IV hydration treatments to help with anti-aging, weight loss, endurance, and more. Their performance packages can help you feel better doing your normal daily routine with boosts of energy and vitality, an increase in immunity, and quicker athletic recovery. Call today for an appointment at 402-413-2042 or walk in at 71st and Pioneers. Live Hydration Spa.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day. Sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. Coming at you live from the heart of Lincoln, America. This is Old School. Sponsored by the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese. Broadcasting veteran Derek Pearson.
When you find something that moves them, that makes them smile, celebrate it. That's your task. That's your superpower.
Nebraska Football Hall of Famer Jay Foreman.
Rifles a pass. It was tipped. It's picked off by Foreman. He's at the 15, 10, 5. He'll score!
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
All right. Here we go. We are back old school because it's called the triplets here.
I guess so.
The triplets here. We got Jay Foreman, Rico.
I mean, I can walk out if you want.
No, you all good. We're here, man. Look.
Why are you coming in?
Don't do that.
Why are you coming in so fired up?
Right, man.
I guess.
Come on,
that's you.
That's
on you.
Let's not be sensitive.
Let's not
man.
point
This
fingers.
ain't about Ralph Tresvant, man. It's the Old School brought to you by the Mercado Certified Piedmontese and Butcher Shop located at 84th and Havelock. Every type of meat, every type of cut. My favorite is the tomahawk, but they have seafood on spices, on sauces, pasta, jerky, and a host of other things too. They have sorbet, obviously, as well. That's my other favorite. Plus, extremely easy to get to. Parking and the atmosphere of the restaurant is really, really cool and inviting. So, Rico, before you came in, me and Nick and I was talking about the dynamics of Now Matt Rule has been here for almost a month, right? And his staff is somewhat set. I'm sure in his mind it is because, there's other dynamics that has to be done till it's officially done. But this is his first recruiting class. It's obviously a mixture of high school kids and then obviously some transfer, JUCO, and then obviously transfer portal guys. I was talking about right before the short segment that of the dynamics of the mindset of the guys that are presently on the roster, because it's different if Matt Rule is in his third year and they have this recruiting class, regardless if it's transfer portal guys, JUCO, and freshmen, versus having a new coach that has definitely came in and pretty much
ruffled some feathers.
Oh, not necessarily. Just came in and just did what he always done. Kind of cleaned house. He's heavily influential in the social media. He's got all his staff, all his coaches in there. So you're thinking he's going to bring these guys. It's very, very important for his tenure here at Nebraska and for the team next year moving forward to be on track to at least win 6 games. That you make sure that you re-recruit the present roster just as hard, especially at some key positions here.
Yes.
I would say I would like to say offensive line, but not really because it's all freshmen right now. You get what I'm saying? They're all 5 of these guys are coming out of high school.
So re-recruiting the offensive line is extremely important. Whether you think that it was a bad offensive line or not, you're not going to want to play freshmen.
Yeah, and you signed 5 guys.
Yeah.
They let you know that there's some new blood needed. And there was 3 or 4 guys that went in the portal. But where you have to re-recruit is especially on the edge, outside linebacker edge, and also I would say maybe not re-recruit inside linebacker, but you would have to do something because of Eric Fields and where maybe some of the guys I always say like Jamari Butler could fit in to be a second level linebacker and say like the 3-3-5 because he has position flexibility. Another position that you have to re-recruit or kind of reshuffle, let's say, is the wide receiver room. Majority of these athletes, besides say Jalen Lloyd, but I think he's going to get definitely a look at wide receiver, are Malachi Coleman, Bryce Butler, Jalen Lloyd, the transfer portal guy from
Josh Fleeks,
Jaden Doss,
wide receivers by trade. That's a room that you have to address. One is huge on offense and one is huge on defense. And they're both very impactful positions in this offense that he's going to potentially bring in. Matt Rule, Satterfield, defense, Coach White and Matt Rule on defense. And those are 2 paramount positions that you have to make sure that are nurtured.
Yes.
Right. So it's huge. And you throw K. Whalen in there too, the edge, kind of like the
JUCO out of California.
Yeah. And so that's huge, man. And the mindset. And you always hear guys, I don't look at recruiting classes because they never play. No. You look because you want to see. And it's not necessarily a negative thing because if I'm going to be a senior and I'd been an established player, of course they have to get somebody, especially if the younger guys haven't stepped up.
Yeah. Have you done your job?
I did.
Have you developed in the way that you were supposed to?
That's when you look in the mirror and go, "Have I done my job?"
Yeah, don't lie to yourself because these are the coaches and the players' conversations definitely need to be up front and clear. But the conversation that you have with yourself, looking in the mirror, and I always reference Rocky 3 when Rocky was trying to get the courage and get in shape and get a little bit quicker to fight Clubber Lang. And he had this, and Rocky's wife asked him, "Are you scared?" And he goes, "Yeah, I'm scared. I'm afraid." right? And then, Apollo Creed said, "What's wrong with you, man? There ain't no tomorrow." And he had to look himself in the mirror. Am I really focused and doing it? And that's what sometimes you have to, the hardest conversations you have to have within being an athlete is sometimes with yourself. And it has to be, you have to come to the conclusion that I have to do more and I haven't played good enough.
That conversation is a dangerous one if you don't have you're right, you're talking to yourself, but if you don't have the support system that you should have, that's a dangerous conversation because that can lead you down a dark path. And sometimes it's hard to come back from
I was
that.
say lost in the transfer portal.
No, it's not it's called the vortex.
Yeah.
The transfer vortex.
The vortex
that you get lost in because you get told that you're good enough to be somewhere else.
Yeah. And it's always either the coach's fault, the system's fault, X, Y, and Z.
They didn't do this for me. They didn't do this for me. They didn't prepare me for this. They didn't tell me about this and that. Be like, no. You have to sit down, look at yourself, and think to yourself, have I done enough? Have I put enough work in outside of the practices that coaches are having? Have I put enough work in, studying my playbook to be ready for those practices to go above and beyond and showcase the talent that I do have, the talent that I had that the coaches saw in me all those years ago.
Right. And also, it also falls on the coaches as well, whether it's Coach Rule, Coach White, Coach Satterfield, Pot Roast, or, Coach Cooper, whoever it is, right? Or the wide receiver coach and all these guys that come in. It also falls on them. These might be your guys, right? Especially the guys that, that you kind of recruited outside of the holdover class. These might be your guys, but you can't be so stubborn and bullheaded that I'm going to play one of my quote unquote guys over a Rico that actually is playing better. Because if you want to lose a locker room, that's the fast way you do it. Because these guys are watching.
They know.
Well, first of all, players know.
Yeah.
At every level, players know who's good or not. But they are also watching how, say, like if I'm the new head coach or position coach, and Nick's a holdover and Rico's my new recruit, how I'm treating him.
Bingo.
And Nick is better.
Yeah.
It's huge, and that's part of re-recruiting. And sometimes the simple thing to think re-recruiting is, hey Nick, we got to meet every single week, and I got to tell you that you got a shot and make you feel all warm and fuzzy. Then you go out and do the same thing that you've been doing for 3 or 4 years. Re-recruiting is actually kind of what Matt Rule did today in the press conference. Back up your words with actions, and the actions of recruiting who he said he's going to do. But then for me as a position coach, if I say, hey, look, I'm going to give everybody a fair chance, and the best guy's going to play, and Nick's the guy that's the best guy, and he plays.
Well, and that's what he was saying about the so he was asked about Tony White and what makes why he was kind of attracted to hiring Tony White. And it was, was it the 3-3-5 defense? And Matt Rule went off on talking about his days at Temple and Baylor and how they ran different defenses and they found guys that fit to what they wanted to do. And he ended it by saying, I don't care what defense we run, we're going to find the best football players.
Right.
And so it's one of those things where it's like,
it's not necessarily that we're going to run a 3-3-5, although that is what Tony Elliott is known for. Doesn't mean they're going to run it. They're going to run the defense that works.
Yeah, Tony White is obviously known for his defense at Syracuse and stuff, but I don't think Matt Rule cares, or Nebraska fans especially. Frankly, I don't care. I don't give a damn what kind of defense you run.
Right.
I don't care.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. First of all,
can I butt in real quick? Barry Jackson ain't coming here.
Cincinnati.
Yeah, there it is.
You want Cincinnati?
Yep.
Well, I guess we can just check him off the list. Which probably is a smart decision for
that
him.
wide receiver room was getting crowded.
Yeah, two minutes ago, committed 100%. Go Bearcats.
It's a smart decision for him. Let's be honest, and you can't be mad about it because it was a previous staff recruit. He's a good player, but maybe obviously by them going out and getting a ton of guys at his position, lets you know that maybe they were they would have took him, but they're also not upset that he's going somewhere else.
Yeah. We also don't know what how things transpired. He did visit this weekend. We don't know about conversations that could have of, hey, listen, man, let's just go our separate ways.
Or, we'll offer you, we'll honor.
Yeah, exactly.
We'll honor the offer. But we're also not opposed to you looking other places because, what people don't.
And that's respect to Matt Rule and company.
Yeah, well, sure.
Transparency.
Transparency, honest. That's what you want.
Right? Because
without control.
And then that comes back to help you out in years down the road.
Right.
Because things get around. And if it's on the flip side of that where Matt Rule's, hey, man, let's get you here. Let's get you here. Then treats them, like you said, crappy.
Right.
Then that comes out 5-10 years down the road where Matt Rule talks about, why are coaches that are former players always on his staff at places? Why does he give them the chance? Because they know who he is. That's how he talked about that process today. And I guess you can talk about that with Barry Jackson to where somebody knows Barry, a recruit 6 years down the road, if Matt Rule's still here, knows Barry Jackson. Yeah, man, they treated me right. They treated me right.
They were honest with
whatever happens, and that's
Right.
that's obviously a hypothetical situation, but you never know.
Yeah, you never know, because not only it's Barry Jackson, it's Barry Jackson's high school coach. It's Barry Jackson's trainer. It's Barry Jackson's 7-on-7 clubs. And these kids play on multiple clubs, even crossing over state lines to play with each other.
Social media,
where you could just, and they follow each other.
You hit up a DM and word gets around so
very
quick.
quickly. Yeah.
Hey,
So
what do you think of so and so? It's like, oh, I talked to him this, and it didn't work out there, but they were nice to me. They were good.
Or at least they're honest, and that's usually what athletes will deal with. It. You can deliver a message as long as you're being, upfront with them, and they can deal. They might not like it, but they'll deal with it. So, that's another domino that didn't fall our way, which is, you can't be 100%. It'll be interesting to see when or anything happens, obviously with Cornelius or Mr. Scott from ASU, see where these guys end up. I think if they could get Scott, which seems like a more realistic get, it could really, really help out not only the class ranking, but also a big need as far as, settling down the offensive line, because it's a center position. The guard position and tackle position, I'm not going to say it's easy to fill, but the center position is so unique because it's a marriage between him, the quarterback, and the offensive coordinator. And no other position on the offensive line has that, because he has to, lead all four other guys, and they all have to work in unison. But then he has to be on the same page as the quarterback, who obviously has to be on the same page as the offensive coordinator. Then when you talk about like the relationship between a center and a quarterback, you always think of what Peyton Manning talks about Jeff Saturday, and where he would sometimes make sure when getting in and out of a pass protection that maybe Peyton sometimes would miss, and Peyton hardly ever missed, but that's when you have to be on point. And that's why you see, center and quarterback combinations play for so long in the NFL. One is familiarity. Two, they help each other out. And that's why it's so imperative, if you do draft a young quarterback in the NFL, or you bring in a young quarterback in college, you have to have somebody there to help him ease the way, because it's so huge. And really, to Coach Donnie or Coach Rayola's credit, their best offensive lineman was Hickson this year. Most consistent, in my opinion, was Hickson. No, a guy that kind of been passed over at times, didn't play well. Obviously, he played behind Cam Jurgens, so you're not going to play.
Yeah.
So he came in his last year, a walk-on, and was easily the most consistent offensive lineman out there.
Yeah, it was a bumpy career. I mean, it is a bumpy career for Trent Hickson, because he was it's been a career of getting pulled and kind of lost in the shuffle there for a couple years. And then I remember having the conversation of, all right, sounds like Trent Hickson's going to be the starting center. Even though
it was a question mark.
That was remember the conversation last year was when Scott Frost came out and was like, Turner Corcoran can play all five positions.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's like, oh no, is Turner Corcoran going to center? But then what do you do at right tackle?
Yeah.
Like, you had all those conversations coming out, and it was like, it was that idea of they just had to throw Trent Hickson in there because that's all they had. But then, like you said, most
consistent. He was always there.
We have a good question here from Big Slim. He says, "Holy cow, the not so very good show of weather right now." And
Lincoln's been issued a snow emergency after 8 p.m. tonight.
Oh, that means to lock in, Rico. He asked, who of the transfers? I want to ask. We'll go around right before we get. Who of the transfers are you most excited to watch?
Just the transfers?
Yeah, that's what my man Big Slim.
All right.
Oh,
go ahead, Rico.
So Rico? I am stuck between Chief Borders and Josh Fleeks.
I'll make your pick easy. Josh Fleeks.
You're Josh Fleeks, and
I'm stuck between Chief and Josh Fleeks, just because Chief Borders, having that elite pass rusher, having somebody who's thought of as an elite pass rusher
coming out of high school
would be something amazing to have. That's something that Nebraska hasn't had in a while. You had two solid pass rushers in Garrett Nelson and O'Shawn Mathis, but if Chief Borders is that dude, then that would be amazing to see. But yeah, I might go with Josh Fleeks just because I love the speed, man.
I'm gonna go with Jeff Sims because I want to see if these guys can get the best out of him. What I mean is he's been in his freshman year. he handled himself really well. And then he got a little bit of injuries, but he's played well, but in short spurts. So he's probably off for all of us, right? Because
he was the first year after no triple option, right?
Right, and he's the quarterback of first one of Matt Rule that he's got.
Yep,
and he's going to be the guy that's taking the majority of the snaps in the spring, whether people want to say it or not.
Well, health wise also.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, exactly.
Because he's the only guy.
That's not us saying Casey Thompson doesn't have a shot, or
it's just him being healthy enough to take it. So then you're going to see him
the
most
healthiest, eldest scholarship quarterback.
Which who knows what that means for what transcends in the fall, but that's a conversation.
Because your top three all had surgery, right?
Top two of last year,
Casey, Logan, and Chubba.
Yep, all had surgery.
Oh yeah,
Chubba had ankle surgery
again. Dang, homeboy like the Tin Man. Anyway, the guy I'm gonna pick,
but he's watching 49ers games.
I don't care what. That doesn't mean that. The guy I'm gonna pick is Waylon from Sacramento, California.
You like Kai, you like.
And
Kai
the reason
well.
why is he has, it's not necessarily expecting big dividends. I just want to see where he's at when the season starts, when fall camp starts, and what they do with him as far as his. I mean, he's a legit 6'5", 6'6". It ain't a guy that's like like NBA, like Barkley always said he was 6'5". Barkley ain't nothing but 6'4". This guy's a legit 6'5", 6'6". He's a knee and waist bender, so he can get low. Definitely raw, but you could tell on his tape he loves to play football. So when you're thinking of a 3-3-5, whether they want to say they're going to run a 3-3-5 or not, White played he played in a 3-3-5, and that's the only thing he didn't coach. Now, I will tell you this. When you see his defense, it's different it's not a standard 3-3-5, but I would say Waylon is who I'm most excited to see, just to see where he ends up. And it might not be this year.
I watched a little bit of his film. What do you call that? It's like a stiff arm. He just puts his hand in the chest, gets low, and is just shoving him.
Yeah, for a 6'6" guy, he plays with really good leverage. Now, granted, it's JUCO.
Yep.
But he's playing with leverage. It doesn't matter who you're going against. So I'm really excited to see him, along with the other guys. But I really want to see what he's going to do. And Chief Borders is he's going to garner a lot of attention just based on he's bringing a ton of swag up here.
Yeah, I think there's there's a not a connection, but a personal interest for me in Josh Fleeks, just because he was a guy that was actually recruited by Nebraska out of high school. He was a guy that was between Nebraska and Baylor. And I remember doing research on him back in 2018 when he was deciding between Nebraska and Baylor. And I mean, this was a guy that was, when Nebraska wanted to recruit speed, that was that mantra in 2018. Right. And he was a guy that had a 10.4 100 or 10.3 100 and a 21.4 200.
Was that fast, Rico?
Yes.
That's
coming out of high school.
Coming out of high school.
Nebraska has 3 guys. Hold on. 4 guys on their roster who have run sub 10 500s.
Is that fast?
That's blazing for high school, because you have Malachi who ran a 10.5 or a 10.4, a high 10.4. Jalen Lloyd who ran a 10.4, could have gone faster. Barry, not Barry, the
Bryce
one
Turner.
at Bay
Bryce
City.
Turner.
Bryce Turner runs a 10.4, and now Josh Fleeks runs a 10.3.
Yeah. So
they've got burners.
Yeah. So I mean, that's the thing.
But do they play that speed though?
Well, I know that Jalen Lloyd does.
Jalen Lloyd does. I know.
Jalen Lloyd
everybody
does.
else has to play at that speed. I mean, it's great to have these guys out there running fast. I want to see you play like that.
It's not like Josh Fleeks was just completely invisible at Baylor either. I mean, it was a guy that he had over 7 or close to 70 catches, I want to say, in his career at Baylor. So I mean, it was incorporated. He's been there.
Yeah, it's kind of like
he's been active. Like I said, he was 5'11", 170 coming out of high school. And here he's listed at 6 foot 204. So if you want to take that off, 5'11",
so it's a little
195.
Bit like Trey Palmer.
So,
has stats. This is a big opportunity for him.
Yeah,
1 year
in a spot where once again he is the mold of what Matt Rule says he wants.
Well, we're gonna see. That's what what it is. You ever seen that guy that was gonna fight the other guy in on Instagram? We said there's nothing but air and opportunity. And I done sucked all the air up out of here.
Yeah,
what's up? Then we're gonna see.
And that's the worst part about all this is because
I love that video.
That's the worst. That's the worst part about all this is because we look at the recruiting class and for however many years in a row, we were intrigued by what's on paper, and we don't get to find out until next August.
Oh, we're gonna see pretty soon. You're gonna see in winter conditioning because this right here I guarantee you, there's a group text going around about how many offensive linemen that came up in here.
Mm-hmm.
You ain't sleeping. You gonna have a nice Christmas, but don't think you're gonna just be drinking a whole bunch of eggnog and a whole bunch of prime rib and all that stuff, and think you're gonna put on 5 pounds and just kind of work your way. You better come in and come with it.
Yeah,
because there has to be one of these guys that's in the rotation this year. You got to hit, And so, anyways, good segment. We're going to go on the break. We're going to come back, and I'm going to have each of us pick our top 5.
I was going to say, do you want to do a Super 6?
No,
that's what
other people do.
Yeah.
We're not other people. We're going to do our Fabulous 5. How about that?
Fabulous 5
coming out.
You got the Michigan game tonight. You're thinking Michigan. That's why.
I wasn't. But
I'm mad at it though.
Fabulous 5 coming back after this break. Jay Foreman, Rico, and Nick will be back.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. You're listening to Old School with DP and J. Download the mobile app and listen wherever you are on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Probably has a few dings and nicks all over it. Don't be that guy. And repaired at Renew Your Auto. At Renew Your Auto, they offer tons of services: ceramic coating, window tinting, paintless dent repair, washes and details, bed liners, body shop, and more. Where can you go to get services like that all in one place? Schedule your appointment today at renewyourauto.com. See what Renew can do for you.
Rashawn Jackson here for Bauer Underground, who has been serving local contractors and utility contractors all across the state since 1997. When you see the black and white trucks, you know the baddest dudes in the business have arrived. Bauer is currently looking for equipment operators, laborers, diesel mechanics, and aerial linemen. Join the brotherhood built on hard work, authentic people, and pedigree of success. Bauer, a family-friendly company who reminds you, go Big Red!
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive certified Piedmontese beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
93.7 The Ticket. Fox KFXL weather. Sponsored by Security First Bank. A relationship you can count on.
A winter storm warning will be in effect late this afternoon into tonight. We'll see a high of 26 with areas of flurries and freezing drizzle this morning a possibility. But by this evening into tonight, a quick blast of snow. 3 to 5 inches will be possible. An overnight low of 11 degrees below zero. A high tomorrow of only around 4 below zero. I'm meteorologist Tim Wright for 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
When it comes to your home or business, we know you have options, and that's why John Henry's Plumbing, Heating, and Air Conditioning gives you just that. Options. We have plumbing, heating, and cooling memberships to serve all of your residential and commercial needs. We want to ensure you, your family, and your business are safe. Visit our website, jhlincoln.com, to find out more or call us at
435-5555. John Henry's Plumbing, heating and air.
Bagels and Joe is happy to introduce the new Joe card. Get unlimited drip coffee from all 5 locations, including the new Seward location, for just $8.95 per month. Start your mornings off right with a breakfast sandwich and unlimited coffee from Bagels and Joe.
Life-changing research doesn't just take place in outer space. It's also happening right here in Nebraska, and you could play a key role. Solarion, one of the world's leading clinical research organizations, needs healthy adults who are 19 years old and older for a research opportunity. If you qualify, you could earn up to $500 a day for time and travel. Overnight stays may be required. To learn more, call Solarion at 866-213-2965 or visit helpresearch.com/500.
Start your Sundays off right with Jeff and Nicole Essink on Fitness Fanatics. Jeff and Nicole discuss health and wellness, how to achieve fitness goals, and more through the life of gym owners and gym goers. It's Fitness Fanatics from 9 to 11 a.m. on Sundays on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
The Ticket Water Cooler with Jake Bakoven and Enrique Alvarez-Clary.
With Tony White in his 3-3-5 system that he's going to bring to Nebraska, do you think that's a fit in the Big Ten?
It does seem like a type of defense that allows a lot of different formations at the point of attack. It's not that they're only going to have 3 down linemen, it's that it allows for pressure to come from a lot of different spots. In terms of, rushing the passer, which is something that Nebraska has kind of been lacking in.
On 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com. You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. This is Old School on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
What is happening?
Nothing.
The hell is your problem?
It's Stormageddon is taking over this studio here.
Sleep over at the station.
Yeah. You know what's funny though? One of my early years in Buffalo, they had how they had the lake effect snow up there.
Mm-hmm.
We had it one time where they were contemplating whether to move up practice, right? And of course, Greg Williams, being the somewhat of a-hole, decided not to. So the guys that lived on one side of the thruway got to go home. The other guys got to stay in a Roach motel because you could get home one way, the other way was shut down. It was like they had a national emergency, snow plows cutting it off, and it was just a matter of moving it up an hour. If we'd have moved the practice up, say from 2:00 to 12:30, we would have been fine.
Damn.
So this could be us. We could be snowed in. Doubtful, but
I hope not.
Not snowed in.
The awesome trio is here on Old School. Jay Foreman, Rico, and Nick. Before break, we were talking about our fabulous 5, and we've decided to say we can't have Jeff Sims because that's too easy. He's obviously going to be in there.
He'll be on everybody's.
He'll be on everybody's, and we're only going to do true freshmen. No transfers, no JUCOs, nobody. And I'm going to give Rico. Rico, you got yours?
You gonna let me go first?
I am. If you have yours ready,
I can do it.
Are you sure?
I got this.
Okay,
I got this.
Well, how about? Do you have yours?
I do.
Okay, how about we just go
5, 4,
one at a time?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and then any order. Rico.
I'm gonna start
Nick,
at 5.
me.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna start at 5. So, I got Jaden Doss, the wide receiver out of Peculiar, Missouri. Why? Why is that going to be your 5?
He's my number 1.
He's your number 1. I know he's my number 5. I think he's going to be. He's one of the guys that seems like he's ready to make some sort of impact. Maybe not right away, but a little bit into the season if they need an impact player. I think he seems like a kind of guy that can get in there and start doing things right away as a true freshman.
I'm going to tell you one, Sincere Safiula, the defensive back from IMG Academy. Obviously, the defensive back room is a little interesting because if you want to talk about the transfers, and you have the Corey Collier coming in, people are forgetting about Kane Williams, who was the transfer from Alabama last year that everybody freaked out about. But Sincere is a guy that they've talked about, and Ed Foley has talked about possibly helping out in special teams area as well. So I'm going to go with Sincere Safiula from a very prestigious football academy in IMG.
My number 5, I'm going to go with and I'm doing this at the 2 years from now. I'm gonna go with Jalen Lloyd because I think one, he gives you tremendous amount of position flexibility. Obviously, being 160, I think that's his track weight. I think he could easily play both sides of the ball, 175, 180, and can carry it. Because he's a legit. I think he's taller than 5'10", and I think he's more close to 5'11", 5'11 and a half. So I'm gonna go with him because of I think you get two positions because out of all the athletes, the majority of them are wide receivers. When they play defense, Jalen Lloyd looks the best out of all of them as far as being fluid in the hips, being able to backpedal, and really good at transitioning and playing the position of defensive back if that's where they see him fit. And then obviously, the potential there at receiver. So I'm gonna go with Jalen Lloyd, my number 5.
So my number 4 is gonna be a little weird because it's kind of dependent on if he switches sides of the ball. Malachi Coleman.
Okay.
I think he's a fabulous wide receiver, but I think if you switch him to the defensive side of the ball, he can be so much more. I think he has the body type if he puts on a couple LBs, and he has the speed, the agility, the athleticism to be a fantastic defensive player if he buys into the physicality as well. So if Malachi Coleman is willing to switch to the defensive side of the ball, I think that he would be an impact player, maybe not right away, but in year 2, definitely.
I'm going Eric Fields, number 4. Guy has 180 tackles in 10 games. His junior year, he was under-recruited because he had a season-long injury his junior year that kind of really hindered his ability to get recruited and noticed by big schools. And Matt Rule said this quote today at his press conference, quote, I don't want to make promises, but you guys will eventually realize how good of a player Eric Fields is. He is an elite talent. So he said that today.
Wow.
Had 180 tackles, like I said, in 10 games this senior season. And
that's a heat-seeking missile.
That's 18 tackles per game if you can't do math. And so I'm gonna go with Eric Fields at number 4.
Great minds think alike. I was gonna pick Eric Fields. I had him right here. You see that there?
Yeah, I see it. I saw it.
I watched him, and the reason why, he actually would be up there a little bit high, probably number 1 and number 2. 3-3-5 and the way that they play the guys in the second and third level, this is the guy. But since Nick picked him, I'm going to go with Dwight Boodle because of corner and the depth that he can possibly add, the speed. Obviously, DiCaprio is his brother. And, he's coming up here in Nebraska and trying to make a name for himself. And I think, with him being able to cover with his speed and size, I think that he would be my number 4 since Fields is already taken.
I was going to go Fields at number 3, but I'm not doing that. I am actually going to go with a defensive lineman, Vincent Carroll Jackson, a guy that Tony Elliott wanted at Syracuse, was trying to get him at Syracuse, came to Nebraska, was able to flip him to Nebraska. Obviously, he thinks he's going to fit extremely well in his 3-3-5 defense. He's got the body type to – I've said it multiple times. When you come in as a true freshman, unless you're a freak, it's really hard to make an impact in the trenches, offensive or defensive line. But Vincent Carroll Jackson, 6'5", 285. That seems like a body type that's ready to do something in the Big Ten right away. Again, I don't know if it's going to happen right away, but Vincent Carroll Jackson is my number 3.
Number 3, Dylan Rogers, edge guy from Texas, from, I believe, Cypress, if I can remember correctly.
You are right.
Cypress, Texas, and he's a guy that's been committed to the Huskers for a little bit, transcended staffs, a guy that obviously the new staff liked, and we talked about it earlier, Jay, the evaluation when you're going through Texas, those 3 stars, just because they're a 3-star, when you got to see where they're from and you kind of got to evaluate the tape. And he's definitely a more physical type of linebacker. So I'm going Dylan Rogers.
I'm going to go with Princewell. I'm not even going to try his last name. I'm going to say you the man. And the reason why I like him is 6'4", 225, projecting to be 235, 240, within a year or so, right? A good weight. When you watch him, real explosive. But in the last 2 seasons, he's had 21 sacks. So that lets you know he can close and he's a finisher, rushing the passer. So obviously, he needs some refinement. But when you talk about a guy that can pay dividends sooner than later, a guy that can sack the quarterback, that's done it in a pretty competitive league, that has a body type that fits this defense and potential, he's my number 3.
Number 2, real far down the list if you're looking at recruiting rankings, Jason Machichak. Say that right? Did I get that right?
Machichak.
Jason Machichak, 6'4", 320. The only thing I've heard about him is he's got that dog in him. If you've watched the film, apparently he is not afraid of anybody. He's ready to go right at everybody's head. He's going to start on the defensive side of the ball. I think he ends up out on the offensive side of the ball as an offensive lineman, more than likely on the interior. And like I said, from Pierre, South Dakota, so he ain't scared of that cold weather. He's going to be right out there going right at people's faces.
All right, number 2, I'll go with what Jay did. Number 3, Prince Will Iman Mielen.
There you go.
Prince Will Iman Mielen. Big, obviously piggybacking off of everything Jay said, but also another little bit of a deeper connection with Matt Rule there. Rule recruited his brother Princely while he was at Baylor. And so he mentioned today that he's been talking to Prince Will since he was this tall, and now he's this tall. So he said he's been with Prince Will for years and years, and here he is, Nebraska's highest rated commit coming out of high school in this class. And so I'm going to go with Prince Will, number 2.
My number 2, I'm going to do a combo. I'm going to break it up a little bit. I'm going to go.
I didn't know that was late.
Yeah,
I didn't know that was allowed either.
I'm making the rules. I'm going to go Sam Sledge, Brock Knutson, the ankle breaker. Sam Sledge, probably the most fundamentally sound of all the freshman linemen, come from Creighton Prep. One of those two. Yeah, I said it. I like Brock Knutson. That's what I'm saying. Look, you come at me, I'm coming hard. He's a straight soldier. Scotts Bluff's finest. Sam Sledge, Creighton Prep, all boys school, just full of anger because he's just looking at a bunch of chumps all day. One of these two is going to pay dividends, but I like Sam Sledge and his legacy as well.
I was not prepared for that.
Get ready. Hey, look, man,
since we're allowed to break it up, my number 1.
Nope, you can't break it.
Why not?
Because you ain't come up with it. I'm setting the rules. It's just like when Nebraska was hiring a coach.
All right, then I'm not going to break it up. I'm going to add my own thing. I got a 1A and a 1B. It's not breaking it up. It's just splitting it.
Okay, go ahead.
It's different. My 1A, Tristan Alvano.
I like that. I like that a lot.
A kicker.
It's been think about it. Think about it. When Nebraska, no.
Jay, just
the last time
it.
Nebraska recruited a kicker that made a difference was Barrett Pickering. And then he got the yips, and then he couldn't do anything. Nebraska had to go into the transfer portal to get a kicker. So Tristan Alvano's already proven himself in Memorial Stadium, clutch kick to win the state title.
Without using a T.
With no T, so he's ready. He don't need a T.
No T, Jay.
So he's college ready. He doesn't need a T. He's a man.
Yeah,
he kicked a 55-yarder with no T.
And 1B, Prince Will.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, he kicks.
Kickers
to win it.
No Kickers are like cops. You want them when you're around, but when they need them, they ain't nowhere to be found.
Look, go
the only 1B.
The only way we should know Tristan Alvano's name is because he signed today. We shouldn't hear his name aside from making kicks, because if you know your kicker's name, it means he's missing. That's all we need.
I don't know. We knew Alex Henry.
Because he was great. Because he was great.
Okay. All right, go to the next one.
Number 2,
1B.
Prince Will. Prince Will. Yeah, 1B, Prince Will.
All right, I'm going number 1, Jaden Doss. Polished guy, most polished receiver in the class. I think in terms of wide receiver guys that we could see starting next season, not starting like being in the top group, but actually game 1, we could see maybe one of these receivers breaking out. Could be Jaden Doss. He's got the best hands or polished hands to this moment of the wide receivers in the group, and guy that's been under recruited but been committed to Nebraska for a long time. Plus, there's a little bit more of a connection with him because I sit there and I see his recruitment photo today, or his signing photo of kept my promise to Nebraska. He's a guy that withstood the 70+ day coaching search, and
you got some willpower.
He's a Nebraska dude, not a staff dude. So here we are with Jaden Doss.
My number 1 is I'm going to go with the baddest dude in this whole recruiting class, Dylan Rogers. And there's a reason why. I looked him dead in his eye, and he had that dog in him.
There it is.
And my man is every bit of 6'2", 6'3", and every bit of 235.
I'd put Dylan at 3.
And for a guy that be built like that, and the way he's played, it looks like a guy that could definitely be knocking on the door some playing time with some guys.
Okay.
Could you see him as a guy that could transition inside?
I think you could.
Because when we were talking about transitioning inside, we talked about Kay Wallen or somebody. I'm getting them all mixed up now.
Jamari Butler.
We were talking about
not
on the
inside,
roster.
but it could be a stand-up kind of.
Yeah, in that 3-3-5.
I can see him doing it, maybe middle, but I think, it all depends. A lot of these guys, I think, are good enough athletes, and if you're a good football player, you should know how to play all the positions and learn and be willing to learn a new position if it means the betterment for you and the team. But it's pretty good. That's a pretty good segment with our Fabulous Five. Maybe we need to start doing that because everybody does a Super Six. We're gonna do Fabulous Five.
Yeah, we don't need that 6 person.
Nah,
yeah,
unnecessary.
We could do a Sexy 7 or something.
It's not like we got 6, and it's not like 2 of us got 6 anyways.
Right. Yeah, right. But you could do a thing and just say the whole offensive line because that's really what's gonna make and break this whole class.
Every offensive lineman that they recruited. That's my Fabulous Five.
Yeah, right. That's it.
Johnny Cornelius in 12 minutes.
Well, that'd be right around time when we get off air. So let's try to go to a break quick and see if we can get him to speed up his announcement, which highly doubtful won't happen.
Let me send him a text.
Jay Foreman, Rico, Nick, Old School. We'll be right back.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Hydration Spa. Watch Old School live on Facebook, YouTube, or Twitch. Old School with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
For the winter, it's time to get them back out. There's no need to stop thanks to Double Eagle Golf. Double Eagle is home to Lincoln's best indoor golf simulators. It's perfect for every level of golfer, with everything from casual games for the kids to hyper-realistic simulations of some of the best courses in the world. And the best part, no matter what the weather's doing outside, it's always golf weather inside. See for yourself. Double Eagle Golf, just 5 minutes from downtown at the Kinetic Sports Complex on West O Street.
You had to know that when Wingstop set out to make a crispy, juicy chicken sandwich, they wouldn't make it in just one flavor. They'd make it in all 12, like lemon pepper, mango habanero, hickory smoked barbecue, and OG hot. So why have one new favorite chicken sandwich when you can have 12? Try the new sauced and tossed Wingstop chicken sandwich today for only $5.49 at Wingstop, where flavor gets its wings. Valid for a limited time and available at participating Wingstop locations only while supplies last. Price subject to applicable taxes and fees.
There's a lot of realtors in Lincoln, but don't get overwhelmed by all the names. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realtor Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate is your go-to option when buying or selling residential and commercial property. Ben's team offers unbeatable customer service and promises to make the buying and selling process as stress-free as possible. Call Ben today at 402-419-6309 for all your real estate needs. Ben Bleicher with Professional Realty Group at Berkshire Hathaway Ambassador Real Estate. No pressure, just professionalism.
There's nothing quite like the Mercado by Certified Piedmontese Beef. The Mercado offers unique ingredients you can't find anywhere else, open every day from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. The full-service butcher shop and retail store is wonderful for meat lovers with their exclusive Certified Piedmontese Beef and assorted sausages, plus other quality meats, including pork, chicken, and a wide range of the freshest seafood. Plus, every Friday from 11 to 2, the Mercado serves up the best lunch in town on their Friday Feast menu. Stop in at the Mercado today at 84th and Havelock or visit their website at cpmercado.com to see current deals.
Your home should not be a zoo to unwelcomed animals. Let the experts at Bats to Rats take care of those problems. Dane has been a leader in wildlife and pest management and prevention in Lincoln and the surrounding area for 15 years. He can help you get rid of bats, rodents, and anything else. Whether it's residential or commercial buildings, schools, apartments, or churches, they're always a phone call away. Call today at 402-310-0904 or visit batsterats.com. Bats to Rats Wildlife Control and Prevention.
2022 flew by fast. And while you celebrate the upcoming holidays, Mullen Motors is looking ahead to 2023 and trying to open up space on their lot. Stop by Mullen Motors for their year-end sale and select from some of the best options of used vehicles in Lincoln at the best prices of the year. Don't end the year in your aging vehicle. Search Mullen Motors lot today for their year-end sale, just north of 48th and Layton.
No tagline, just quality vehicles. Mullen Motors.
Acres, your John Deere dealer, is offering year-end blowout savings on in-stock 2022 compact tractors and mowers. Make quick work of chores around your acreage and save over $4,000 on select John Deere compact tractors equipped with a loader and rear blade. Or save up to $1,000 on select 2022 John Deere Z-Trax and lawn tractors. Visit your local Acres store or acres.com to get these great discounts. Acres, solutions for every field. Discounts available on in-stock units while supplies last.
Riddles Jewelry is excited to showcase the scintillating Levion Jewelry Collection. Levion is known for their love of reinventing fine designer jewelry through unique combinations of chocolate diamonds, vibrant gemstones, and precious metals. Le'Veon and Riddles Jewelry, 2 family-owned businesses who put customers at the heart of what they do. No one colors your world better than Le'Veon. So visit Riddles Jewelry today and receive $100 off any Le'Veon purchase now through Christmas.
At Riddles Jewelry, Gateway Mall.
If your home isn't delivering the year-round comfort you expect, call the experts at Bryant. Warm and cool, comfort and confidence. Bryant Air Conditioning and Heating. Call 467-1111.
This is Dan Friedman. Between 2010 and 2019, distracted driving caused more than 40,000 car crashes in Nebraska, resulting in over 14,000 severe injuries and deaths. Please keep your eyes on the road. If you have a smartphone, put it away while you're behind the wheel. It will help keep our community safe and secure. This message is brought to you by Friedman Law Offices, helping injured people. It's what we do. It's all we do. Find us at friedmanlaw.com today.
You're listening to 93.7 The Ticket's coverage of early National Signing Day, sponsored by Live Hydration Spa. Back to old school with DP and J on 93.7 The Ticket and theticketfm.com.
Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back. Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back. Pumps in a back, pumps in a back. We like the girls with the pumps in a back.
We back, baby. We are back. Old school. Jay Foreman, Rico, and Nick. Quick segment before we get out in these elements and defeat Winter Mageddon, Storm Mageddon, whatever you want to call it. We are going to defeat it. We are going to meet it head on and just blow right through it, right to our cribs. But in closing, I wanted to ask you guys, oh, here you go ahead, Nick. Go ahead,
No.
Go ahead, get busy, Nick.
Nick.
Hey, did you see Nick?
I saw it.
Yeah, I seen you. Nick was feeling it. Go ahead, Nick. Hit it.
It's over. It's over.
It's like,
Okay, Nick. Okay. I want to go around and give you guys, Matt Rule or the class a grade, overall grade, and why. In closing, Rico, you up first, or Nick, you want to go first?
Yeah, Nick go first. Yeah,
I'm going to give it a B+, because I think the names aren't going to jump off the page. I think it's one of these classes that these guys are labeled as developmental coaches, and they're going to have to prove it. This is the first class that they're going to be able to prove it to us that they are what they're advertised to be. The number of class rankings not going to jump off the page. However,
it's 29.
The ability, it is.
That's good.
But I'm saying compared to years past, it's not a top 15, top 20 class. But here's the deal: what they did in 24 days to put the classes they put together with the names, with the speed, with the athleticism, the ability to keep the number 1 in-state player home. I think it's, you have to kind of tip your cap to that parts a little bit. So I give it a B+.
I think I'm going to go with a C, little middle of the road. Just again,
nice.
like Nick said, it was impressive what they were able to do in 3 months' time. And to me, they were going after guys that fit their style, guys that are going to be able to do what they want to do in the future. But it just feels, and I know you're saying, the names might be, it just feels a little underwhelming. And I understand it's a first class. Again, they had a month to put it together, but it just feels, with the momentum and everything, although they signed all the guys except for one that they had committed, and they were able to keep a lot of the commits that they did have. It just feels a little bit underwhelming. The transfer class, to me, is what really saves this recruiting class.
I'm going to give it a C+/B+. And here's why I think it's a C+. I'm fine with these guys that they've got. I like the receivers. I like the DBs. I like the transfers. I like the offensive line. C+.
You're listening to
I about to just cut you off.
It didn't have
C+ is for this. I would have liked to have, when we still could be up, a transfer portal offensive line, and I would have liked to have seen a true stand-up or second-level linebacker with the loss of Houseman and with the injury concerns. So maybe a transfer portal linebacker or an inside linebacker recruit. That's why it's a C+. But if they address it with the offensive lineman, maybe if they get Scott, right? Because Cornelius is going to Oregon.
Yeah, for anybody that didn't hear, Johnny Cornelius going to Oregon.
Then they would definitely be a B. But I'm fine with it. They addressed the most important position, quarterback, 5 offensive linemen, hit the edge, receivers, couple DBs, kicker, long snapper. That's second level. That's thinking far between, and to be willing to offer a scholarship and keep the commitment of offering a scholarship to him when Matt Rule became head coach. Mm-hmm. The importance of special teams is obviously ringing true in this first class.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, we got 25 seconds.
All right, well, that was all good. 2 hours goes by too quick, man. Hey, look, man, be safe out there. Yeah. Drive safe. Just get home. Be happy. Be cheerful.
We're planning to talk to you tomorrow.
We'll hopefully be talking to you tomorrow.
We'll be here.
Either in person or on the stream. Jay Foreman, Rico, and Nick, thank you. We are out.